Hi, my name is Joshua Seth Hill, and I'm here to show you ROI with solar versus the power company, versus other things. One of the things to note is that the power rate in the United States, as far as a graph, if you have time on this axis and cost on this axis, does this. That's your rate of power costs. It's always done that, every single state. It goes up because of inflation, because of growth, because of power demand. Electric cars are coming. What are the rates going to increase? Well, 6 to 8% in some states has been the average over the last 10 years. We're going to use, for my numbers, around 5% average rate of increase. And we're going to compare that to solar. Depending on a lot of factors, we're going to use nice rounds of 10 numbers for $10,000, $50,000, or $100,000 with 4% interest factored in, and a $100, $500, and $1,000 power bill versus solar payment, because they are about apples to apples right now as far as your cost and cost effectiveness. Would depend a lot on the factors, the panels you use, the inverters, what your efficiency is, what kind of company you partner with, whether your warranties are actually going to exist or not. And we're going to compare how that factors in. So basically with solar, you have your $100 home payment of power for your solar to pay down your solar. So you're buying an asset that you're paying down to zero, $500 for a large home or a commercial job, or $1,000 a month for a big commercial, medium to big commercial business. And those power costs with the power company are the same, $100, $500, $1,000 a month, which adds up to $1,200 a year, $6,000 a year, or in between there for the medium size. And if that goes up around 5%, so again, using very conservative numbers, 5% every year, after just 5 years, your solar costs the same, $100, $500, and $1,000, giving you a total outlay of $6,000, $30,000, or $60,000 for your total that you've paid over 5 years. You compare that with paying the power company those rate increases, and you've paid $6,600, $33,000, or $66,000. You'll probably pay a few thousand more than that, but realistically in 5 years, very conservatively, this is what you will have paid the power company with no return, and you'd have solar, you'd save $600, $3,000, or $6,000 in just 5 years to put back into your business, back into your home. And that seems like a small number, and it is, but as you keep going, the numbers just keep expanding. The exponential profit of solar is there. It gets infinite at year 10. So if you pay the note off in 10 years, again, you're locked into $100, $500, or $1,000 payment. From year 11 to 25, you have guaranteed power. The panels don't just die after 25 years too. They're still making guaranteed power, and you're paying $0 a month, $0 a year. Your total outlay after 10 years for solar, $12,000 for a small home, $60,000 for a medium business or a large home, and $120,000. That's what you've paid for power for 10 years. If you flip over and look at the power rates, they've gone up to, let's say, $150, again conservatively, $700 and $1,500 a month, giving you a grand total of being outlaid $15,000, $75,000, or $150,000 after 10 years. So if you compare that after 10 years, you've profited with solar $3,000, $15,000, or $30,000. Starting to look pretty good, making that much money back into your business, back into your home, instead of paying the power bill, and you still have an asset that for the next 15 years you pay nothing for, that's worth a few $1,000s. So if we just factor out a year 11 through 25, and the power rates never increase, they stop going up. It's never happened in the history of the United States, but if they stop going up, you'll pay on average in that 15-year period $2,100 a year for your home, $10,000, $10,200 a year for the large home or small business, and $21,000 a year starting at $1,000 is what you'll pay for that 15-year period, giving you a grand total with the power company, $46,560, $228,480, $465,924. So these numbers are power, money spent on power for 25 years if you have no solar. That same money spent on power for 25 years with solar, again, 12, 60, 120,000, thus saving you in 25 years minimum $34,560, $168,000, or $345,000 for the business. So you see how solar expands, saves you tons of money long term. Now we'll get into the hairiness of extra cost, extra roof cost, business expansion, LED light bulbs. If you want to build solar parking structures, they're actually 30% off too for anyone. If you build a gazebo in your backyard, a parking structure in your front yard, an extra garage or shop, you will get $30,000 off of that. But it's for if you need a new roof. The tax code reads anything we put in the solar project that's related to the solar, that's needed for the solar, is also 30% off. So you get $3,000 off a $10,000 roof. A $25,000 roof or shop, $7,500 off. $50,000 roof or building, $15,000 off. Now you have to have the tax appetite to take these breaks, But again, it's just an extra 30% off anything cost that we put into the solar. So if you need a roof and you get solar, you take that extra $3,000 for your roof on your small home, $100 solar payment turns into a $70 a month solar payment. So you take that $3,000, it pays down the solar. So now you're left with a $7,000 balance, around 4% interest, is $70 payment a month, leaving you after 5 years with $4,200, or after just 5 years saving $2,400, right? So a small home can save $2,400 if they need a roof and they get solar. If you have a business and you can get that roof cost and you can take accelerated depreciation, it's another 30% bonus depreciation in the first year, leaving you with an extra $3,000 on top of the $3,000 for that $10,000 roof. Or let's say for a large business, $25,000 or $50,000 for the roof. You will actually get $15,000 federal tax credit plus $15,000 accelerated depreciation, because it's a 25-year product. You accelerate the depreciation, take it in the first few years. You're left with a power bill that went from $1,000, that was $1,000 and will increase to $1,250 in that first 5 years, to a power bill that's $200 after those tax savings are applied to the gross solar cost. So you're left with a solar cost of $12,000 after 5 years of paying just $200 a month. Meaning in just 5 years, your business that has a $1,000 power bill that needed a roof or added a shop or expanded is now having a $54,312 savings by having gone solar. $6,000 is your net outlay for the medium size, saving you $27,000, $2,400. Let's say you have a small security business you run from home. $2,400 is your net cost of solar after all the depreciation, all the tax credits, federal tax credit for the solar and the roof. You've saved $4,000 in just 5 years. And if you expand that, I mean, it just keeps going. You'll save a massive amount of money in the 25 years. So that's how solar shows you a return. If you need a roof, if you need to expand, please look at some of my videos, check some of my links, go to my website and see how much solar will actually save you. Get some recommended companies. I promise to give you honest information about what your power rates are, what companies I would partner with in yours, and what to look for, what to know about a company before you decide to let them come into your home or business and try to, get you solar, sell you solar. I want you to be informed. So again, I'm Joshua Seth Hill. Thank you for chatting with me about ROI.